Welcome. Today we will be reading lesson 268 in the workbook, and from the text, chapter 23, section 1, the Irreconcilable Beliefs, paragraphs 1 through 6. And now for lesson 268. Let all things be exactly as they are. Let me not be your critic, Lord, today, and judge against you. Let me not attempt to interfere with your creation and distort it into sickly forms. Let me be willing to withdraw my wishes from its unity, and thus to let it be as you created it. For thus will I be able to recognize myself as you created me. In love was I created, and in love will I remain forever. What can frighten me when I let all things be exactly as they are? Let not our sight be blasphemous today, nor let our ears attend to lying tongues. Only reality is free of pain. Only reality is free of loss. Only reality is wholly safe. And it is only this we seek today. Let all things be as they are today. Let one not want what is to be different from what it is, nor to judge it to be lacking or unworthy in any way. For when one loves what is, one does not detract or find fault with its reality. When one attacks the truth, one but attacks its creator. Today one removes all preferences and prejudices, seeing everything as it truly is. And in seeing this, does one recognize oneself. In love is everyone and everything created, and in love will it be forever. Fear has no home in the acceptance of all that is. For reality is never frightening, and its safety is never ending. What is real can never be threatened, nor suffer loss or lack, being perfectly loving. And now for our text reading for today, from chapter 23, section 1, the Irreconcilable Beliefs, paragraphs 1 through 6. The memory of God comes to the quiet mind. It cannot come where there is conflict, for a mind at war against itself remembers not eternal gentleness. The means of war are not the means of peace, and what the warlike would remember is not love. War is impossible unless belief in victory is cherished. Conflict within you must imply that you believe the ego has the power to be victorious. Why else would you identify with it? Surely you realize the ego is at war with God. Certain it is, it has no enemy. Yet just as certain is its fixed belief it has an enemy that it must overcome and will succeed. Do you realize a war against yourself would be a war on God? Is victory conceivable? And if it were, is this a victory that you would want? The death of God, if it were possible, would be your death. Is this a victory? The ego always marches to defeat because it thinks that triumph over you is possible, and God thinks otherwise. This is no war. Only the mad belief, the will of God, can be attacked and overthrown. You may identify with this belief, but never will it be more than madness. And fear will reign in madness and will seem to have replaced love there. This is the conflict's purpose, and to those who think that it is possible, the means seem real. Be certain that it is impossible God and the ego, or yourself and it, will ever meet. You seem to meet and make your strange alliances on grounds that have no meaning. For your beliefs converge upon the body, the ego's chosen home, which you believe is yours. You meet at a mistake, an error in your self-appraisal. The ego joins with an illusion of yourself you share with it. And yet illusions cannot join. They are the same, and they are nothing. Their joining lies in nothingness. Two are as meaningless as one or as 1,000. The ego joins with nothing, being nothing. The victory it seeks is meaningless as is itself. Brother, the war against yourself is almost over. The journey's end is at the place of peace. Would you not now accept the peace offered you here? This enemy you fought as an intruder on your peace is here transformed before your sight into the giver of your peace. Your enemy was God Himself, to whom all conflict, triumph, and attack of any kind are all unknown. He loves you perfectly, completely, and eternally. The Son of God at war with His Creator is a condition as ridiculous as nature roaring at the wind in anger, proclaiming it is part of itself no more. Could nature possibly establish this and make it true? Nor is it up to you to say what shall be part of you and what is kept apart. The war against yourself was undertaken to teach the Son of God that He is not Himself, and not His Father's Son. For this, the memory of His Father must be forgotten. It is forgotten in the body's life. And if you think you are a body, you will believe you have forgotten it. Yet truth can never be forgotten by itself, and you have not forgotten what you are. Only a strange illusion of yourself, a wish to triumph over what you are, remembers not. The war against yourself is but the battle of two illusions, struggling to make them different from each other, in the belief the one that conquers will be true. There is no conflict between them and the truth, nor are they different from each other. Both are not true, and so it matters not what form they take. What made them is insane, and they remain part of what made them. Madness holds out no menace to reality, and has no influence upon it. Illusions cannot triumph over truth, nor can they threaten it in any way. And the reality that they deny is not a part of them. In this section, one is told that the war against oneself is almost over, and that peace lies at the journey's end. The war was made by the ego, to teach that one is not what one is, and to have one forget eternal love. And it is impossible to remember who one is while believing one is but a body. In making an enemy, one has made two illusions: a false image of what the other is, and a false image of oneself. Both are untrue. And a mind conflicted by thoughts of war does not have the serenity needed to remember the eternal. The ego's desire for victory, or to be right, made conflict possible, and one has chosen to join the ego's war against love itself. And if love was destroyed, how could one exist, being but a creation of love oneself?